Okay. What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and yes, this is the shocker of today. It is exactly October 24th of 2025, and Konami TCG decided to drop an additional part of their Forbidden Limited list that, by the way, was just updated over a month ago in September of this year. And what did Konami do? Well, they said, hey guys, we kind of forgot a couple of cards, so we're just gonna outright just update the Forbidden Limited list. Um, like, no hard feelings, right? Right. But I got some issues with this Forbidden Limited list, and I don't hold my tongue when it comes to Konami and their large array of what the fuck that they do with this Forbidden Limited list. So, let's talk about it. So we have newly forbidden 7 new cards, and they are uh, Arch Nemesis Protops, Artifact Mjolnir, both Barrier Statue of Drought and Barrier Statue of Inferno, uh, Fossil Dynapacifello, which I didn't think that card would ever have been banned, Evilsworn Ouroboros, and then Dimensional Barrier. So, I'm not going to talk about Ouroboros right now. Let's talk about the other additional monsters on this list, because each of them have some way or another to be special summoned to mess around with your opponent and basically lock them out of doing additional things. The crazy thing is that, isn't this now like 2 artifact monsters on the Forbidden Limited list? Because Scythe is on the Forbidden Limited list. Now here comes Mjolnir. I mean, that's just going to be a crazy lineup of any, because I don't think any of the other artifact monsters do anything against special summoning or limiting summonings as well. However, I do know Moraltech and them haven't really been relevant in a while. It's more so just Scythe. And now it's apparently Mjolnir, which is carrying on what Scythe did. Which is basically finding ways to prevent your opponent from doing anything until it's your turn. And then when it's your turn, you can just go all out. Kind of similar to that is all the other additional 5 cards in the same sense, because the barrier statues of Drought and Inferno. I know for a fact that earlier today when I seen this list, I posted a comment basically saying, well, I'm looking at you barrier statues, and I'm just like, might as well just ban the other 3, because what's the purpose of keeping 3 banned and the other 3 aren't banned? Somebody said, well, the archetypes right now aren't meta, so you might as well ban them now too. Or the type slash attributes aren't meta, so why not just, there's no point of banning them. And I'm like, and? Because I know for a fact water can get out the barrier statue of torrents. Light and dark don't really care about their barrier statues because they have 15 other compromising things that they can do for special summon negation. And even though one of them has just been banned and another one adding to it, let's be real, it's only a matter of time before a light and a dark attributed deck decide, hey, we kind of have our own barrier statues. Why don't we find a way of summoning them? So shout out to the barrier statues of Torrent, the Heavens, and the Abyss, because you 3 are going to be next soon. Then on top of that, Fossil Dynapacifello. Low level beatdown decks that love anti-meta. And to stop anti-meta's biggest hitters, start banning some of their biggest hitters till things get under control. Kind of also one of those situations where, similar to the barrier statues, that there is a way to try to summon these out without having to go through the madness of it. Or at least put them into your hand so you can play them. Which is part of the reason why I think all 3 of them at that point, and even Nemesis, had to be hit, because there's just so much negation and such blocking and all of that. Then Dimensional Barrier gets banned. Why is Dimensional Barrier banned? Same situation like the barrier statues and stuff. Promoting what Konami would want to consider unhealthy gameplay. But really, you guys kind of screwed up your own game by making a whole bunch of archetypes and a whole bunch of cards that were abusable. Then when everybody started complaining, then you wanted to listen. But you really didn't listen, because most of the stuff you kept unbanned, while the problematic cards were still being, running around until they became a problem for your checkbook. So when your checkbook started to get hurted, you knew people were still going to be running them in quote meta / competitive decks. Then that's when you start hitting all the important cards and stuff so that nobody can take advantage of it. Which, to be fair, what is really the big difference between... Sorry, because I have water on my phone. What is the real big difference now between the 3 barrier statues that you're banning, that you have banned, versus the other 3? Oh, because according to your TCG players, they're not meta. No one's playing them. It doesn't matter if Mermail was playing through a shitstorm of what the fuck. If an archetype deck, which all it needs is just a couple of cards to set up to summon a particular monster on the field to defend them from their opponent, they will find any way they can. And Mermail isn't the only water deck, which I don't get why people just screamed Mermail. Like, just because there are a ton of water attributed decks in the game, I'm sure they're going to find a way to put this together. Let's live with that. So, the only reason why I'm really just stressed about that is, like I said, you might as well just ban all the barrier statues. Because what's the point of having the other three out if they're just going to end up being abused anyway? It's only going to take a matter of time. I also say the same thing at that point where if you're that issued about the artifacts, then just hit the ones that you know are going to cause a problem. Actually, they kind of really are. Because now Mjolnir has now been hit, and then you turn around, Scythe was hit a couple of formats ago, which, to be fair, that was kind of needed to hit Scythe, because Scythe was just getting way too out of hand, too. But still, it's like, Konami, you trying to put the Band-Aid on the leaking pipe, that the pipe isn't leaking anymore. It's just spewing out water left and right. This is also part of the reason why so many people have just decided, I don't want to play Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because playing Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Has just become a headache, and there really isn't much support or much things coming from Konami when it comes to particular archetypes needing particular support. Most decks in the game, you only use them for either fanboy or gooning, and then at that point, once the well has run dry, you either go to another archetype or you try to rebuild one just to save face. Let's be real, Konami is good at saving face while throwing stones and hiding hands. And this list is just another point of it. I really don't have any much else to say because I'm completely tired and done with this list. Just seeing that this is stuff that if you wanted to hit it, you should have hit it and not wait a whole month after, 2 or 3 YCSs have happened, and then crazy shenanigans happen, and then now you're mad? Yeah, no, sorry. I guess I'll just be playing video games for the next format, because I'm really not about to deal with this crazy shenanigans. Oh, by the way, the structure decks for Yusei, Crow, and Akiza, the 5D stuff, that all got moved to November 21st. So anyone who was trying to get them at November 7th, unfortunately, Konami said bye-bye. So I don't know who to blame on that one, but don't come crying to me because you couldn't get your stuff from your legendary deck. So, alright everybody, I'm out. This video is already giving me more time than you needed. HCJ signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.